Hello and a very warm welcome on One News in English at 5. I'm Yanni Moutsios and these are today's top stories. 30 people have been killed and more than 100 were wounded after two Russian rockets struck Kramatorsk railway station in East Ukraine. Also on the program, Kremlin admits it has suffered significant losses of troops since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine in a rare admission of how badly the war has gone. Europe's Executive Vice President announces approval for €3.6 billion payment requested by Greece as a first installment under the Recovery and Resilience Fund. Magistrate orders that 9-year-old Georgina is to be exhumed so that forensic teams can retract a tablet buried along with the girl. Ukraine's state railway companies say that more than 30 people have been killed and more than 100 were wounded after two Russian rockets struck Kramatorsk railway station in eastern Ukraine. The Donetsk governor Pavlo Kyrylenko said thousands of civilians were at the station trying to evacuate to safer areas of Ukraine when it was hit. Reuters report that the three trains carrying evacuees were blocked in the same part of Ukraine on Thursday after an airstrike on the line, according to the head of Ukrainian Railways. Russia says it had destroyed a training center for foreign mercenaries in Ukraine, north of Odessa. The claim has been reported by Russian news agency TASS via Reuters, however it has not been independently verified. In the meantime, the President of the European Commission and the EU representative Josep Borrell are on their way to Kyiv today. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the situation in the town of Bordianka was much worse than in nearby Bucha, where Russian forces suspected killings of civilians received global condemnation. Ukraine's Prosecutor General Irina Venediktova added that Bordianka is the worst in terms of destruction and in terms of the uncertainty about the numbers of victims. Coming up next, Europe's Executive Vice President announces approval for €3.6 billion payment requested by Greece as a first installment under the Recovery and Resilience Fund. The Kremlin has admitted suffering significant losses of troops since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine in a rare admission of how badly the war has gone. In an interview with Sky News, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov asked whether the war had amounted to a humiliation for Russia, given the number of troops lost. He replied, "We have significant losses of troops, and it's a huge tragedy for us." Russian forces have now fully withdrawn from Ukraine's north to Belarus and Russia, the UK's Ministry of Defence has said. At least some of these forces will be transferred to East Ukraine to fight in Donbass, the report added. Meanwhile, the European Union approved an embargo on Russian coal imports and the closing of the bloc's ports to Russian vessels over the Ukraine war. The measure will take effect from mid-August. In addition to the sanctions, the European Union also backed a proposal to boost its funding of arms supplies to Ukraine by €500 million, taking it to a total of €1.5 billion. Now, let's take a look on some other today's news headlines. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis held a teleconference meeting with the Executive Vice President of the European Commission, Valdis Dombrovskis, on Friday, where the Commissioner of Trade announced the official approval for the disbursement of a €3.6 billion payment requested by Greece as a first installment under the Recovery and Resilience Fund.
So I'd like to offer my warmest congratulations to Greece for achieving the first set of milestones and receiving €3.6 billion as a disbursement under the Recovery and Resilience Facility. So I commend the Prime Minister and your team, as well as Greek authorities, for a job very well done. Today's payment will allow Greece to continue major investments and far-reaching reforms. This will help to create thousands of jobs, more sustainable growth, and higher economic output. Greece has already made some major investments, energy efficiency renovations of residential buildings, for example, or have taken added relevance, something which has taken added relevance in today's changed context. They will help to save energy and reduce energy bills, both for people and for businesses.
Thank you for the support that you have offered us. I would like to thank my team because I think they've put together a very good program that is particularly relevant to the challenges that the Greek but also the European economy is facing at present. And we will make good use of these funds. This will be, I think, the best proof that when Europe can act as a supranational entity, as we did when we set up the Resilience and Recovery Fund, it can deliver real results. And let me point out, we'll make good use of these funds, and looking forward to stay on track regarding the further disbursements. I would like to point out again that this government is committed to reforms. We never stopped doing reforms, even during the pandemic.
Now, some other news. U.S. Ambassador Geoffrey Pyatt has said that a lot has changed in the country itself and in its relations with the United States during this time, speaking at the 7th Delphi Economic Forum on Thursday. Pyatt said the two countries expanded military relationship as well as the confidence of investors. 5 years ago, we were discussing whether the Greek economy was going to collapse, but today we are talking about enormous new investments by Pfizer, Microsoft, AWS, Digital Realty. He noted, U.S. Ambassador said Greece now has thriving relationships with Egypt, with Israel and the United Arab Emirates, and with India. So you have an arc of engagement where our interests coincide and where we are able to build confidence in each other. The United States is extremely supportive of the work that Greece is doing with Egypt, Israel, Cyprus, with the European Commission on electricity interconnectors. Pyatt said with reference to Greece's role on the energy map. Pyatt underlined that Greece's role in the southeastern flank of NATO is going to be more important than it has ever been once the war in Ukraine is over. He also warned that the United States will be intolerant of any country that tries to evade the sanctions, whether that's in financial terms or technology terms. United States Ambassador referred to the United States sanctions that were applied because of Turkey's acceptance of the S-400 missiles, noting that these remain in place. Those were a decision of the United States Congress, and they cannot be whisked away. Also on the program, magistrate ordered that 9-year-old Georgina is to be exhumed so as that the forensic teams can retract the tablet buried along with the girl. Ukraine's ambassador to Greece, Sergei Sutenko, released a statement responding to negative reactions to the video appearance of Greek-origin Ukrainian fighters belonging to the Azov regiments in Mariupol, who claim to be defending Mariupol from Russian Nazis. Comment of the ambassador of Ukraine, Sergei Sutenko, regarding the video screened during the address of the President of Ukraine to the Parliament of the Hellenic Republic. Russia propaganda machine targets the minds of free people. It not only blurs a reality, twisting facts, it creates the dreaded atmosphere of hatred and fear, statement reads. Today, Russian officials and propagandists have been denying the sheer fact of the aggression and military invasion in our country and continuing to lie blatantly and disguise their war crimes and crimes against humanity, like the world had witnessed in Bucha. In order to distract Western attention from the immense humanitarian catastrophe caused by the invasion, especially in Mariupol, Russia is using a wide range of disinformation techniques and myths. Father of a 10-year-old girl was arrested for sexually and physically abusing his daughter in the city of New Smyrni in Athens. 47-year-old man from Romania allegedly raped and tortured his young daughter, whereas his wife is said to have abandoned them. The defendant was accused of placing the girl's hands on the burning kitchen, causing her severe burns. A family member is said to have tipped the police about the years-long torture of the girl, who eventually found the courage to speak. According to the medical examiner, the girl has been both sexually and physically abused. The 10-year-old girl was taken to Children's Hospital and will be staying at a kids' shelter. Magistrate ordered that 9-year-old Georgina is to be exhumed so as that the forensic teams can retract the tablet buried along with the girl. Lula Pispirigu, mother of the 9-year-old Georgina, apparently placed a favorite item on each one of all her daughter's tombs, Manos Daskalakis, father of the girl, said. Local authorities are to execute the magistrate order immediately and remove the tablet, which will then be taken to the forensic laboratories in order to investigate and verify any clues that may lead to the cause of murder of 9-year-old Georgina. Defendant claimed that the only reason she had placed Georgina's tablet in the tomb was because she used to place some of their favorite items in each one of her daughter's graves. That's all from us for now. Next news update in Greek at 6 o'clock. Thank you for watching.